Hello, folks. Well, as many of you know, I was one of the pilots of the Byron F-16s in the movie Blue Thunder with Roy Scheider and Malcolm McDowell. You've probably seen my videos. Well, we had to fly chase scenes and blow them up for the movie. John Simone Jr. hired me to help him with these special effects, and it was sure a lot of fun. Well, since losing all the memorabilia from the movie and the fire, I began searching for a Byron F-16, which is really quite rare. The first one I had was in 1980, and they stopped producing the kits some years later, so it really became hard to find. My friend in Indiana, Tom Fuller, found me one, and so I bought it. It was another one of those kits, though, that in the box was missing some parts. So I had to do some manufacturing of the parts myself to get it together. Also, instead of buying a Rossi 91, tune pipe, starter wands, and all the support equipment, I decided to try to build one electric. I saw a few people who built electric ones years ago, and I know it could be done, albeit I decided to use my own servo setups, and I also decided to try to build it like the earlier versions and use my past experience. And that meant I decided to build it as light as possible, especially for this first flight, since I didn't know how this fan was going to perform. So I left out the rudder servo and linkages and retracts so to save the weight. And in all my years I flew my F-16, I found the rudder almost ineffective since there's very little torque in this plane, and there's also no wind being blown across the surfaces till you begin flying. So some of the parts I bought were the speed controller and the controller card I got from Fanjets USA. I purchased the 120mm ducted fan from top_RC on eBay. I also purchased two 5200 milliamp 22.2 volt LiPo batteries on eBay and made a harness to put them in series. So here's a few pictures of the build and the maiden flight. Here we go. Well, I like foam tack glue, but I found that the foam tack filler was really hard to sand. Here I'm adding the shelves and aileron control horns and lead weight to the stabilizer so it's balanced. Here I'm showing how to make a fan adapter and the shroud to plug the gaps. You know, I also built the entire plane with amazing goop since it's more flexible than epoxy, and well, it's amazing. I also use Flex Seal tape to hold the wires from being sucked into the fan, as that stuff is really sticky and strong. Next I covered the wing stabs and rudder with a Conocoat. Here I've attached the ailerons with hinges and put servos in the wings. This is the test. Well, next, Derek Peterson of Sibley Auto Sales graciously painted a fuselage for me. He builds real airplanes like the RV-8A that you may have seen me ride in a few years back, and of course polished the entire plane with Adams Brilliant Glaze. After assembling everything, I cut out all the decals and put them all on, making it real pretty. Well, the stock thrust tube was missing, so I used medical drafting film and made my own. Well, next I weighed the entire machine at 12.2 pounds, including batteries, which is lighter than the 13.5 pounds that the original weighed with nitro engine and a full fuel tank. I charged the batteries in the bag and now topping them off here, as you can see. So let's go ahead and head down to the airport and see if this thing will fly. Here we go. The ESC's 30% slowdown actually didn't happen, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I landed anyway.
Yeah, that F-16 flies again. Boy, is that pretty in here, huh?
Well, thanks, Tom, for making this possible. Thanks, Derek, for the great paint job on the fuselage. Thanks, Ilea, for the extra camera work. And thanks a lot for watching, folks. See you next time.